and how you can resolve to embrace climate competitiveness to drive your success and the success of our world. Passage 1. On Money, People, and Rules. When you get down to essences, most business success depends on the smart alignment of money, people, and rules. How you define your staff, its functions, and its accountability is the first high-octane fuel in the engine of business success. In short, how you manage your people, find brilliant deputies, and structure your differentiated organization remains key. In my firm, the people element was critical. I started my journey aligning money, people, and rules with few funds. I succeeded because of the talent of individual teams, not big loans. Money is not just the world of finance, as the best firms are not debt-bound but frugal in a competitive sense. Wealth we find in people, social networks, and professional communities and organizations. Wealth is human worth made operational. In this book, we examine the arts of competitive frugality both in principle and in case examples. The rules part is where the social movements and governments come in. Issues such as toxic waste contamination or the vaccine crisis of the last pandemic or climate change require the heavy feet of government to set the rules by which competition for innovation begins and ends. Yet you cannot solve the climate crisis only with government mandates. That is sharpening only half of a pair of scissors. To cut through the issues of the many greenhouse gas emitters in transportation, big pharma, buildings, and hospitals, we need to be more clever than simply be pro-regulation. We cannot strangle the neck of innovation or the inherent powers in private and corporate wealth. This book offers 18 related passages that offer the new narrative on business and society, which will allow us to compete in a carbon and capital-constrained world. We have centered each of the passages on two historic insights, one on the past mistakes and the other pointing to future solutions on wealth, its prejudices, and the climate crisis. Passage 2. The 5 Prejudices. Many of the central concerns of the 21st century, racial inequity, white supremacy movements, greater inclusiveness of diverse peoples, are rooted in facing and overcoming prejudices. Another of our great challenges, the role of wealth and its relationship to the needs of the Commonwealth, is also driven by a set of prejudices that have grown and evolved over the last 2 centuries. That is the puzzling domain of this text. This set of prejudices, 5 that I've discerned as recurrent and damaging, has led us to believe impossible things, such as the only way to address the climate crisis is through draconian global mandates, a set of mandates not likely in our world of war, limited upward mobility, and serious public health problems. Look at how this is summed up in the new report on the climate crisis. On March 20, 2023, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, released its 6th assessment report. IPCC's research clearly shows that human activity has unequivocally driven climate change. As a result, the world is currently on track to fall short of achieving the 1.5 degrees Celsius, 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit limit from the 2015 Paris Agreement, and unless significant actions are taken immediately, we will exceed 2 degrees Celsius, 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Countries and companies must make drastic changes in energy consumption, land use, and infrastructure now in order to limit the most severe impacts of climate change. While this quote sums up the position of the most prestigious group of scientists on the issue of climate in the world, it only states the problems, with no doable solutions in hand. These reports do not delve into how wealth, innovation, and corporate innovators generate the solutions and their paths in society. That immense absence is what this book offers to fill and to explore with a range of listeners. You can find 1,000 policy and legal citations about the urgency of the climate crisis. Yet